You think you chose her. You went to the shelter. You walked along the rows. Maybe it was her look. Maybe it was her color. Maybe it was the moment she stretched her paw through the bars. And you thought, that's the one. I'm choosing her. But I want to tell you a different story today. One where you're not the one who chooses. Your cat chose you, long before you made your decision. And the mechanisms behind it are fascinating, real, and biologically documented. Stay until the end, because the last thing I tell you will change how you think about your relationship. Let's begin with the moment you first appeared. Whether in the shelter, on the street, in the pet store, or in a litter box. Your cat registered you. Not with thoughts, not with a decision, but with her entire sensory system. Cats read people. That's not a metaphor. They read your scent, your hormone profile, your body language, your breathing rate. Within seconds, they have a first assessment. Is this human safe? Is this human interesting? And if the answer is yes, they come. Not from hunger, not from fear, from choice. That's the moment the selection begins. You thought you were choosing, but in reality, you had already passed her test. But before I explain what cats look for, let me tell you something I find the most interesting. There are people that cats immediately like. And there are people cats never come to. The difference isn't in their appearance, not their profession, not their social status. The difference lies in their energy, in the way someone carries their body, in the quality of their stillness. People who have no expectations are chosen by cats more often. People who don't push, don't grab, simply sit and look. That's the type of person cats come to. And if that applies to you, that's no coincidence. That's a mirror. The cat shows you something about yourself, that you give space, that you're patient, that you don't take, but wait. Those are qualities an animal without language recognizes in seconds. Now let me explain what cats look for in a person. Not money, not status, not external qualities. They look for reliability, calm, predictability. Cats are drawn to people who speak slowly, move slowly, breathe calmly. Who don't make abrupt movements. Who aren't intrusive. Who let them come, rather than going toward them. That's no coincidence. That's the exact opposite of what a predator would do in the wild. And that means, a person a cat comes to send signals of safety. You told her, I'm not an enemy. I'm reliable. You can come closer. And she decided, I'll choose this one. But here comes something even more interesting. A cat's choice isn't spontaneous. It's tested. Cats test their people over weeks and months. They come closer, withdraw. They show interest, then disinterest. They observe how you react to their approach, how you react to their rejection. If you don't push, you pass the test. If you accept that she sometimes says no, you pass the test. If you're there when she needs you, without expecting something in return, you pass the test. And after passing the test, she stays. Not because she has to, because that's what she decided. That's a choice that goes deeper than any you could consciously make. Now I want to tell you about a phenomenon that's very well known in shelters. There are cats in a shelter that avoid every person for months. They sit in the corner. They hide. They sometimes hiss. And then a certain person comes, and the cat comes to him. The shelter staff sometimes call this, the cat has decided. And that's how it is. The cat has let hundreds of people pass. And then this one. And something in her said, this one. Exactly this one. That's not a myth. That's observed behavior. And it shows. Cats have a system. They have criteria. They have preferences. And when they choose, they mean it. And do you know what the most beautiful part of that is? They also choose in moments when you're not your best self. In the moments when you're impatient, when you're in a bad mood, when you forgot to feed them on time, when you don't pet them even though you have time. She chooses you anyway. Again. The next morning. Again. That's unconditional choice, not unconditional love in the romantic sense. But I've made my decision, and that stands. Now let me talk to you about the second type of choice. The choice that happens anew every day. Because a cat doesn't choose just once. She chooses continuously. Every morning when she wakes up and comes to you, instead of sitting somewhere else, that's a choice. Every evening when she lies on your lap, even though the sofa beside it is empty, that's a choice. Every purr is a consent. Every touch is a yes. With dogs, that's different. Dogs are evolutionarily brought to stay with humans. With cats, that's a decision. And that makes their affection something that isn't a given. It's earned. It's deserved. It's confirmed again and again. Imagine that. Every time she comes to you, she tells you something. Without words, without drama, simply through arriving. That's a yes. That's a once more. I'm choosing you once more. And that's perceived less often than it should be. Because it's so everyday. Because it's so quiet. Because it doesn't require a grand gesture. But it's still a yes. Every day, from a being who doesn't have to. I want to tell you now about a person, not a cat. A woman, older, lived many years alone. She had no one who asked every evening, "How was your day?" Until a cat came into her life. A street cat that one day didn't leave. She didn't want her at first. She fed her only so she wouldn't starve. But the cat stayed. Every day, night after night. Until the woman stopped sending her away and let her in. And years later she said, "The cat didn't adopt me. The cat saved me." Not dramatically, not with fanfare. Simply through, "I'm here. Every evening. You're not alone." That's the power of choice. The quiet, stubborn, everyday renewed choice. A choice that needs no word, only presence. Now comes the part one promised you at the beginning. What changes when you know she chose you? I hope the way you look back. When she sleeps, when she purrs, when she sits on the other side of the room. You'll see, that's not an animal that happens to live in your apartment. That's a being that has decided, for you, of its own free will. That's a form of trust that very few living beings on Earth can express this way. And the best part, it's not pretended. Cats don't lie. If they're with you, they want to be with you. If they purr, it's real. If they come, it's real. The real is so rare, and you get it, every day. From a being that has survived independently for millions of years. That is no pack animal. That knows no loyalty from compulsion. That has decided, for you. And that's the thought I want to leave you with today. You're not just anyone. You're the one this cat chose. From hundreds of possible people, she chose you. Not through logic, not through calculation, through a deeply rooted animal instinct. The instinct that says, with this person I'm safe. With this person I won't be pushed, not overwhelmed, not forgotten. With this person it'll simply be allowed to exist. That's the foundation of everything you've built together. And if you know that today, then look at her differently next time. Not as a pet, not as an animal you own. As a being that chose you, of its own free will, renewed every day. That's no small thing. That's something very rare. And you carry it, every day, in your apartment, by your side. Write us in the comments. Do you still remember how your cat chose you? The first moment, the first encounter, the feeling you had. We read every comment, because every story begins with a choice. And most of the time it wasn't yours. And that's the most beautiful part. You were chosen, and now you know it. And now you see her with different eyes.